Hello and welcome back to the Penno channel. What another mad week it's been at Aston Villa, and we're here to talk about all things that have gone on over the past week. And who better to do this with than with my bro? You know the one, if you're a regular around here. My bro Ads, how you doing, bro?
I'm a happy guy today, man. The news that's been coming out these last 2 days around Villa is exciting, and I just can't wait to talk about it today, bro. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, feeling very excited about this
facts.
season. Now, what about you?
Gas, and we'll get onto it for sure. But before we start, if you could like the stream, subscribe if you're new around here, and also drop a comment on what we discuss in this show. So yeah, bro, let's get onto it, man. The madness today. Where were you? What were you doing when Ornstein dropped the bomber out of nowhere? Amadou Onana for 50 million from Everton. Yeah, madness, absolute madness. What were you doing? What were you up to?
It was actually crazy. 2 minutes before, I just left the barbers after getting a haircut, and I loaded up my phone just to see what was happening. And in a group chat, it was just all caps saying, "Yes, come on, Villa." That's what I'm talking about. I was like, "What's going on?" Then I scrolled up, and all I see is Ornstein saying Villa are about to sign Amadou Onana. And honestly, my smile was massive, because this, I think, is one of the best signings we could have made for our midfield.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think, we'll get onto it. There's a few people in the chat, so we'll say hello. Michael's joined, says, good evening, all. Thanks for joining, Michael. Michelle's joined as well. He goes, hi, guys. Thanks for joining, Michelle. And Vimto's joined as well. He goes, up the Villa. Michael says, I'm driving, so forgive to not adding comments, but Villa on another level. No worries, Michael. Just enjoy us talking through it as well. And we'll get onto it. 1 second. Let me just. Okay, cool. Yeah, bro. So you jump out the barbers, you see the tweet, and when it's Ornstein, you just know. Other people, other sources, usually when the tweet is just speculation, usually. Even Fabrizio's got to that level where it can be speculation, or it can take a number of days for something to get done. But when Ornstein tweets it, you know it's legit, it's straight to the point. And yeah, 50 million. I don't know if that's all going to be a lump sum. Potentially it could be a split package and, additional with incentives. It's not really been broken down as such. But yeah, what a player we brought in. Been at Everton for 2 seasons. Do you remember scoring on his debut against us at Villa Park? I'll never forget that, when he scored that goal. And yeah, he had Sean Dyche and him had a bit of disagreements at times. Didn't kind of see eye to eye, and he ended up him not playing a few games for Everton towards the end of the season. I think because of Everton's system and the way he plays, he didn't really suit them towards the end, and then I think it didn't suit him and didn't suit them. But you've seen in the Euros, if you watch any of Belgium's games, he was quality in that midfield. For me, he's an 8. He's a box-to-box 8, more than a DM himself. And I do think he'll flourish definitely under Unai Emery, especially when Kamara comes back, but even before that. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, bro.
Yeah, Onana, for me, if you look at like his best attributes and what he excels in most, it's tackling, interceptions, ball recoveries, aerial duels. I mean, the guy's 6'4", 6'5". Like, this is a massive bonus for Villa, helping us defend set pieces. Like, it's about time we added some height into this squad. But I don't think he's just that. I think he can pass a ball short and long. He can drive with the ball. He can link up play. And I think this just touches on Emery's desire to bring in players that are versatile. I mean, Onana in this system can play DM, CM, or even as an attacking midfielder, maybe. So, really exciting signing. I understand a lot of people are a bit, eyebrows raised at the fee. Everton signed him for 33 million, and Lille have a 30% sell-on clause on the profit that Everton make in the deal. So, that's probably why they've pushed for a bit of a higher fee. I don't think it's that bad of a fee. I don't think it's that. I think you just have to adjust to the market. It might be slightly inflated, but I'd say only by like 5 mil, like nothing crazy. I think that's around about the price you'll get for a Premier League midfielder with his experience, his age, and someone that starts for their country.
Yeah, captain. I think he captained Belgium at some point. Onana has. 22 years old. I mean, the profiles we're looking at, except for Ross Barkley, everyone's been under the age of 23 that we signed so far this window. So there's room to develop, room to be moulded by Emery, and then room if there is, players excel and we look to move on, there's a chance you can make a lot of profit on players going forward that we do bring in this summer. So excellent business, I think. I think just the sheer presence will be a big factor, and also even if it just allows us now, if we're dependent on the team, so say we'll be playing some teams where potentially, they won't be the best, maybe in the Premier League, like a lower of half of the table side, where it gives you the option now you can play Onana and potentially like a Barkley or a Tielemans alongside him before Kamara's back. But then when Kamara's back as well, you can play Onana and Kamara together against sides in the Champions League potentially, who the big sides. You can play that and have full confidence in the defensive abilities as well as Onana being able to play forward. So it gives us so many options. I even think sometimes you could be reminiscent to how a City or an Arsenal line up with the 4-3-3, and you could play Onana as an 8 when Kamara's back, play Kamara as that DM. Play one of our attacking mids, Tielemans, Barkley in that 10 position where Odegaard sits, and then it gives you the option then to play the wingers, the dynamic wingers we have. If Diaby's still here or not, who knows? Leon Bailey, Philogene Bidace, who we'll go on to as well. You still got Ramsey, Morgan Rogers. I just think it just opens a new level to us in the flexibility, more than Dougie did, and I don't think he's a like-for-like replacement with Dougie. I just think that it gives us more flexibility in what Onana can do.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying like for like Dougie replacement, but I don't really see them saying. I think Dougie was a bit more creative in his passing and on the ball, whereas Onana's more tenacious off the ball with his work rate and how he'll win the ball back for us and how he can drive up the pitch. One thing I think there will be similar with is how they attack the box when we're driving with the ball with Rogers or Bailey. Like Onana will be the type of guy that will maybe be on the end of a deflection in the box when maybe on like the edge of the middle of the box to like smack home a rebound or something. If you remember Dougie's goal against West Ham this season at home, where he's just sitting on the edge and the ball just falls to him and he puts it bottom corner, I could see Onana doing that kind of thing as well, just sitting waiting on the edge of the box to either regain the ball high, or if the ball does drop to him, just putting it in the bottom corner, because he has a good shot and he's a pretty good ball striker as well, if you look at some of his techniques. So yeah, I'm just gassed, bro. I'm just really happy with his signing. I prefer it to Gallagher as well, which would have commanded a similar fee. I think that's clearly the decision I've made, choosing between them two. Just so unexpected.
Yeah,
and it
literally came out of nowhere.
Super confident for the season. Yeah, super confident for the season.
Yeah.
He's signing on a 5-year deal, which is good as well. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but
really,
as you're saying,
great.
I think the profiles as well we've been going for this summer, apart from Matson, really, Dobbin potentially, but the rest of them are all 6 foot plus. I mean, I think Ian Julia's 6 foot, Barrenetchea's 6'1", 6'2", Onana's 6'4". This is some sizable guy. Ross Barkley's not the smallest guy. Do you know what I mean? He's quite big as well. So we're changing our profile. We're getting bigger in size and stature. And Austin must be licking his lips when you see a player like Amadou Onana come in, because Onana's not afraid to tap the ball as well in the off set pieces. So I scored a number of goals for Everton where he's off headers we've witnessed and got into good areas as well from heading the ball. So he's just another piece for our set pieces defensively, as well as attacking the box as well, crashing that box, as you said, bro. Dougie used to get in those positions, and I think Amadou Onana will also do that for us. So yeah, quality signing. I'm all for it. Just the profile, the age. I think he'll flourish under Unai Emery as well. Read something today that he's very diligent as well. He does study. He likes to study. He likes to look over his performances, and that's just that's music to Unai Emery's ears, because Unai Emery loves a player who will just, take in his information, look over videos of tape of them playing the previous matches, and just learn from the mistakes that they potentially made, and just keep developing and keep growing. So I think it'll be a great signing for us for sure. And obviously, Champions League football, he's a player who will slot right in and can play at that level. Seen him play against sides for Belgium, big national sides, and yeah, I think he'll comfortably just slot in when we do get him. A few more comments in here. Michelle said, I think he's worth the money. Yeah, so do I, Michelle. I do agree. Richard joined. He goes, yes, chats. Thanks for joining, Richard. And Speng's in, Speng on, checking in. Thanks for joining. Why would Diaby leave? We'll get onto that spend on for sure. Yeah, we'll have discussions around that and Diaby. But yeah, Onana comes in, 50 million pounds, man. And yeah, it's a big sign. It's a big statement. I think a lot of clubs around the league will be looking at that, even in Europe, and be thinking, wow, that's a big signing. That's a big statement. Because I know
Well,
a lot of clubs were.
He was linked with Bayern, Barcelona, and Manchester United. Like, this isn't a guy
And
where he's
Arsenal.
just
And Arsenal
running
as
outside.
well.
And Arsenal
Yeah.
did their checks. I don't think they pursued anything after, but they did their checks in January. Like, he's a profile they liked. Fabrizio today saying Barcelona did want Onana, but because of their finances, they've had to focus on Nico Williams, who was ironically our number one target last season. So yeah, it's just mad. Barcelona are having the same targets as Aston Villa, and we're actually getting some players before them. So that's nice to know. Including maybe the next player we're about to get onto.
David Hand, thanks for joining, David. He goes, Andre isn't my name, mate. And Nano's a bad man. That interview, if you haven't seen it, after Belgium, I think one of the reporters called him Andre Onana, Manchester United's goalkeeper. And he goes, yeah, Andre isn't my name, mate. Just turn around and just like straight up. Don't disrespect me like that. So yeah, big personality as well. So can't wait. And obviously the link up, Yuri Tillemans.
Yeah.
Club and country now. Huge. Both centre midfielders, both play together a lot for Belgium. It'd be interesting to see because sometimes they operate as a free as well. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne was dropping into that attacking midfield role. So Belgium kind of played a free at times in the middle. So if we do like move into that shape, or, you know, as we do, we play like a second striker or a number 10 who drifts, maybe a Barkley or a Tillemans will operate higher up. This is talking more when Kamara's back and just drop and we play a free. But there's so many options now with Onana coming in because he can play as an 8, he can play as a DM, he can play further forward as well if you require him to, and he's got the legs and the ability to get back and get forward. So huge signing. Yeah, sick. Anyway, bro, moving on. Next one that's coming. Again, a surprise, man. A surprise. There was rumours of him going to Ipswich. There's rumours of going to Everton. Rumours of Barca as well. If you haven't seen, you've seen his agent was pictured outside Barcelona. Was pictured outside at Goodison as well, or Everton's training complex. But
and he's probably outside Bodymore right now.
Yeah, mad. Jaden Philogene Bidace has returned to Villa. I think it's the fee's looking around 30 million. There's 30% sell-on clause which Villa had within Philogene from Hull when we sold him to him for 5 million. So yeah, mad signing, mad to get him back. And you've seen the season that he had in the Championship. I think he was third in like the ratings of who scored ratings. He's the third best player rated on consistency performances in the Championship. You've seen the videos, the skill, the attributes. Unai wanted to keep him last summer. He didn't really want to let him go, but Philogene wanted playing time, he wanted game time, and he made that decision. Villa had the opportunity, they had the option to match any offers that came in. I think Ipswich made an offer and Villa was like straight away, yeah, we'll match that. And obviously, potentially could work out as a profit on the books as well, because of if you automise his contract as well and the fee we're paying, it will look like a profit on the books for the first season. But yeah, your thoughts on Philogene, bro, joining?
This is for me the one that got away, that's back home already. Like, this was one where I thought no matter how much business we do, I'll always be gutted that Philogene left. And now just the fact he's back, honestly, it's so exciting because I think because he's come through the academy, even now he's still underrated. Like, I don't really think people understand like the type of talent that we have on our hands in terms of 1v1 ability, his pace, his creativity, his ability to score. If this was a player from South America that was Brazilian and we were seeing his clips for the first time, we'd all be losing our minds. Like, don't get me wrong, people are excited to have him back, but man, I think I'm seeing people say like squad option, etc. I think he's gonna make his way into the first team as a starter by the end of the season if all goes to plan. I really think he's at that talent level. And is he 22 now? 21, 22? If you look at his output in the Championship, not to compare the players, Grealish is obviously better, but Grealish was never putting up those numbers in the Championship at that same age. So just for that level of comparison, I think Philogene's a top signing, bro. Really, I genuinely think he's a great signing. Unai
Where do you
wants
see
him.
him playing, bro? That's the big one for me. Where do you see him playing?
I could see him playing off the right. I could see him playing off the left as well, tucking in. If you look at his heat map from last season, he played both sides. So he can play that. Rodgers, well, maybe if Duran goes, or maybe if Diaby is sold, then Rodgers goes as that centre forward, and Philogene comes in, maybe rotates with Ramsey. There's options, bro. There's no like set 11 anymore, like with that type of squad. And it's just, I'm so surprised Philogene's actually chosen to come back, because he left for game time. So he's clearly had assurances from Emery this time. We said on this podcast before, Emery did not want to sell Philogene. Like, that was never in the plans. He went to America. He had a great preseason, arguably our best player on preseason. Emery was going to use him next season, but Philogene came into his office and said, I want to go for game time. And he wasn't accepting a loan deal. So this is how Villa had to maneuver and make sure the deal worked out for them. And here he is, just back again, man. Super exciting.
And just a little season-long loan, isn't it? That's what it just looks like, a loan to get some experience in the Championship and come back ready to go for the Prem. I think he's going to be a revelation for us. I do like the ability he has, and if you have not seen it, like Villa fans, you would have seen it. Just the videos from his season at Holland, the ability and the trickery, and what he's able to do with the ball is just a joke. He's so good, and man, just strengthens the squad again. And obviously, Villa now have a number of players that know each other and played each other in England in the under-21s. You've got Morgan Rogers, Samuel Illing Jr. You've got Philogene as well. They've all played together, so they all know each other really well. They know each other's games. Ramsey was part of the under-21s as well. So that's four players in relatively attacking positions that all know how each other play and have played at England under-21 level and looking to push through to the England squad. So, yeah,
What do you think about the Illing Jr. signing now, though? Now that we've got Philogene back, does it not feel a bit, like, okay, that's a bit weird now, because for me they are identical players.
It's interesting. We'll have to see.
Do you think Villa knew that Philogene was always going to come back, or do you think they had to wait for Ipswich to bid, and it's just like, okay, we can't miss out on this opportunity, when they were originally discussing Illing in the Douglas Luiz deal?
Yeah, I think they would have been aware they would have had the opportunity to match a bid, because someone was going to try and sign Philogene this summer. I think that was obvious. For the performance that he put in for Hull, I think it was obvious that a club was going to come in for him. There's a number of clubs rumoured to be around it as well. Everton, Ipswich, Spurs were linked with him. Obviously, he had the Barca links as well. And there's other clubs that were interested. So I think that was obvious. Now, we'll have to wait and see in pre-season what the plan is, where it looks like Illing Jr. is going to be playing. Is he going to be playing off the right? Is he going to be playing off the left? Is he going to be playing at left back? Who knows? It's kind of a utility in that sense. We have a number of players who can play in different positions. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see where he does play. For me, Philogene, I think I can see him playing off the left, potentially playing in that 10 hole as well. But you have to just think how many options we've got now. If you want to play in the 10, you've got Diaby, you've got Buendia back now. You've got Philogene potentially. Off the left, you've got Ramsey, you've got Rogers, you've got Philogene there. Off the right, you've got McGinn, you've got Bailey, who can also play in that 10. Illing Jr. could be playing off that right-hand side as well. So, yeah, there's so many names and so many positions. This is why I wouldn't be surprised if someone else does leave. That wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. And we'll get onto that. But there's just so many players and so many options, and the quality's right up there. And it's what we'll need as well, playing in 4 competitions next season and playing in elite competitions. We need a squad. We saw when we got hit with injuries last year, the level in quality it kind of dipped a bit, and in the second half of the season we weren't to the same level we were in the first half. And I think that's a big thing we tried to do this summer, is to try and get the quality of the squad up a level. And I think if you've got Bidace, you've got Illing Jr., you've got Maatsen coming in, you've got Barrenechea, then you've got starters who I think will be Onana and Maatsen. Yeah, it all bodes well, bro. And Barkley as well. Again, another one who I'm not sure will be a starter, but he just raises the quality and the level within the squad. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see within pre-season where they actually envisage Illing Jr. playing, because I think he can play a multitude of positions. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have options. Like you like that as a fan. I was just thinking more for like the squad makeup. Did they know? Because they are almost identical in terms of their 1v1 ability. Like how they like to play, how they like to show off. I know Ilin Jr. did play left back for Juventus at times in that Allegri system. So I thought maybe Ilin Jr. might be brought in for the left wing back option, pushing on. Then we signed Matson, and I'm like, okay, I can't see that anymore. So I'm not convinced we saw both Dean and Moreno in the same window. Like that would have already happened by now, in my opinion. Like that's way too much turnover to pull that off. I'd be very surprised. So I can't really see Ilin Jr. slotting in that left wing back anymore. Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting.
It's exciting, isn't it? It's so exciting.
The amount of talent right now is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. If you study our attacking options, it's like 12 players. Like we could just go through them now, bro. It's Philogene, Watkins, Bailey. We've got Ilin Jr., Ramsey, Rogers, Diaby, Dobbin, Archer, Buendia, Ilin Jr., and then Caden Young, who's back in training as well, fresh off injury, who I think will probably be loaned out this season, which will be good for him. A good loan.
Do you think we make any more attacking signings, and we'll get on to potentially one of our attackers being sold, potentially two of our attackers being sold? Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think now it's more a case of if players leave, then we'll make more signings in attacking positions?
I think if no attacker leaves now, do not touch the attack. Like we are good. If no attacker leaves, however, if say Duran is still being sold, then we'll have to go in and get a backup striker for sure.
Yeah, sick. We'll go back to the comments. Richard's gone Bidace in, Diaby out. Yeah, we'll have to see about that one. Big up, Narco who's joined. It's my bro. He goes, Big Nunes will finish Onana. He's a Liverpool fan, so I don't know about that one. Rich
Big Nunes,
goes,
bro.
Onana.
Big Nunes might have to finish his court case, man, after he's there punching the fans in the stadium.
Nunes might not be playing football next season. He might not be even playing the way he was going on in that Copa America semi-final. So yeah, looking like Cantona, man. It was mad. Rich says Onana is just what we need in midfield. Set pieces defensively, he was a boss. Aggressive. Facts. David goes, the Diaby link, in my opinion, is religious Muslim icon. Out in Saudi, that he leaves. It's just them, man, want to throw some money at big names to draw more attention to a failed league. Rich says he will be fire. Michelle, I watched footage of Jaden last night, and thank God Villa has him back, as he's an absolute ball of facts.
Honestly, Michelle, I've done the same thing over the past week. Like,
I think
just reminded myself how good this guy was. Because when he was doing all that stuff at Hull, I was just like, it's good to watch, but like he's not our player anymore. Yeah. Now that I know he's our player, it's just like I can sit back and enjoy the clips now.
And it gives me like just again another thing about Emery. Like he always wanted him. Like he always did want him. And it wasn't a case of he wanted to get rid of him. It was just at the time he wanted football, and we saw an opportunity to do that. But he always wanted him a part of the squad, and when there was an opportunity to get him back, we have done so. Yeah. That
and one thing about Jaden that I didn't touch on, really underrated, his work rate. His work rate is really good. His statistics off the ball for pressing, tracking back, winning his duels are impressive. So that's going to help us win the ball high up the pitch as well.
David goes, I'd rather have Philogene back over Grealish. I'm really happy he's coming back. What's your thoughts on that, bro? Obviously, the age difference is massive. So Philogene's career is going like this. Grealish's career is probably there. Might be going down now. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I can never really think of Grealish coming back as like a realistic thing. Like I've never thought it's gonna happen. Just I don't know how to really answer that one.
Big up Charlie. Charlie joining goes, let's go boys. Big up Charlie, man. And Villa Academy. Go and follow his Twitter page. I think many of you do anyway. But big up Charlie. Richard says Bidace gonna go mad in the Champions League and the Premiership. Yeah. He goes, yes, ads. Something he said. Charlie, Jaden just raises the floor of the squad massively, helps with UEFA Champions League squad registration and gives us a genuine possibility to rotate and really be opposition specific with our 11. Facts. David says Philogene reminds me of that tall version of Sean White-Phillips. Mad. Rich says he's filled out a little bit too playing in the Championship. Charlie, the versatility really helps. Is a genuine option for either side of the attack. Spend on the attacking options are deep. They really are. And yeah, Rich goes, he's 2-footed. Spend on goes, anybody buying Dendonka? Have you heard anything, bro? Can we get
Say
him
that
off the
again.
books? Anyone buying Dendonka?
Yeah, it's actually mad. I was thinking earlier, like we got an addiction to Belgium centre midfielders right now. So,
But we've got the triple threat now. Mad. Rich says Watkins, Bailey, Bidace, Morgan, Ramsey, Samuel. Yeah, mad. Big up the Villa Park pod. They've joined. He goes, yes, lads. Onana is going to be a great signing, I'm sure. Yeah, we believe that as well. Rich says Chambers to Cardiff. Yeah, we'll get on to that. James Villa's joined. Thanks for joining, James. He says Jaden plays on the right. Junior is left winger. Facts, but I think they can all just interchange. I think there'll be a lot of movement within that. Charlie says Illing Junior feels to me like a versatility option, covers a number of positions without a massive drop off. Players that feel necessary to stick. I'd rather him than Zaliana coming in, for example. Rich says yes, big up Villapod. Now Dave Ham says Philogene and Illing Junior capable of switching wings, both rapid, will be deadly duo coming on. And say for Bailey and Diaby, we are looking dangerous. Rich goes Matson bursting down the left. Yeah, facts. Michael, he says, this summer break has been perfect for Villa as all eyes are on us with our players performing on the international stage and the signings. But we must change our mindset to a squad, not a team. Facts, and all the best sides are like that. You see it with Man City. They're a squad. They're not a team. They can, the way, they have ridiculous riches, but, the way they've built their squad, players can just come in and come out, and the change in the first 11 is neither here nor there because they're more than capable. They have 17, 18 players that are just more than capable of stepping in. And that's what Villa are trying to achieve. And I think the way this window's going and the quality we're getting in, we are improving the squad for sure. Villa Pod Richards, he goes, yes, Rich. Onana and Kamara double pivot. I think that will be the case when Kamara is back. I think Kamara we won't be looking at till the start of the year, to be honest, or late December. He's back in pre-season. He's back doing his own work, but I don't know. I think it'll be a few months yet, at least 3-4 months before he gets on the grass and starts running and playing for the ball. Michelle says, I agree with Michael. Facts. Richard says Illing Junior second striker. Yeah, could do. James has gone Felix for Duran potentially. There are links, and I've seen a quote from Unai from last year about his thoughts and feelings regarding João Felix. Richard is agreeing as well. Ken, thanks for joining. He goes, Mr. Huggins, and he goes, loves Villa. Carl Bates, thanks for joining. He goes, need a right back, Coyote, Sal Duran, by the German kid, Bayer. Yeah, Bayer looks a fantastic player. And I think we were discussing that, bro. If Duran was to ever leave, I think Max Bayer would be the one we'd be hoping Villa would get in for sure. Praise line, Omar's joined. Thanks for joining. He goes, big signing, Onana, beast at corners. I can see us scoring more set pieces this coming season. Facts, agree. I think McPhee is going to be licking his lips with Onana for sure. Rich says, from what I've seen, Duran wants out and Diaby. If they want to go, let them leave. Can't have no negative vibes in the squad. Facts. A few more. Mitch said, McAfee gonna love Onana and set piece Jedi Master. Facts. Carl Bates says, my sources say Loose Dobbin is looking good. I hope so. It's good. Dobbin as well. You just got to remember we've signed Dobbin as well. Where does he fit in? Do you think Dobbin sticks around, or does he go out on loan?
I can't see the pathway for him right now if we're signing Philogene again. This is what I was saying about Illing Junior as well. So like you get Illing Junior, Philogene, Dobbin. Those are all like really versatile wingers that can beat a man, have pace, can be outlets on transition. They're quite similar. So yeah, I'm just trying to work out how it all fits in, because I agree with what Michael said. You focus from a team to a squad, or even with a squad as well, it can be bloated sometimes as well. So you don't want players unhappy. So I wonder if Dublin get a loan out, depending on how it goes. We'll see, innit? We'll see. But yeah, we'll see for sure. It's a better position to be in than to have no players. So
facts. Okay, we'll move on from the income. As I said, it's been a mad few days, but we'll move on to some other stories that come in. Before we move on, if you could again like the stream, really appreciate that if you could, and subscribe if you're new. Really helps us when we're trying to grow this channel. So please do. Moving on then, bro. The rumours and regarding outgoings. Firstly, we'll confirm Calum Chambers has now left. He's moved on to Cardiff. We wish Calum Chambers well. Two moments I think that live in a lot of Villa fans' minds regarding Calum Chambers is that goal against Leeds at Ellen Road in the 3-0. What a goal! And also that ball, that Trivela outside the boot, 30-yard pass to Coutinho, who was finished by Douglas Luiz. And it was kind of a moment when I was watching that goal score, I was thinking, all three of those are gone this window. All three of them are gone. Oh, mad. So yeah, Calum Chambers has left. Wishing well. He's gone to Cardiff. Phil Coutinho.
He's still here. He's still here, but he's on loan, but he's still here somehow.
Yeah, he's still. That contract is it 2026?
That contract till 2026. Arguably for me, the funniest deal Villa have ever done. Like, I think it's up there. I can't really see how it gets beaten, to be honest.
Yeah, he hasn't looked good, has he? It hasn't worked, man. He just hasn't worked, especially after the loan deal. I think we paid 16 million for him. It just hasn't gone through and worked. And he had the injury spell. There's moments he showed it against Arsenal under Unai, but there was no consistency. He just couldn't keep fit either. And had a loan last season. He's going to have another loan this season. And that contract will just remain until either we manage to sell him January, summer next year, or he'll just run it out. But yeah, the Vasco fans have been on it. They want him back, and they feel like we're holding him hostage. I don't think that's the case. And I think they're just trying to put everything in place. They were like Coutinho's Vasco's he's their prodigal son, and him and Dougie. To be fair, they both came through that academy. They love them, so they'll appreciate him for sure.
They need to relax, man. Coming like the Tanzanians when Samatta was here, bro. It's like, relax,
nothing wrong with that.
It was almost like because Dougie's left. It's just like, okay, we don't have to be nice to these Villa fans anymore. Let's just go to their page and just start talking absolute was, man. Like
that.
I'm glad they got him, because I do like those returning home type deals where a guy's past his best a little bit. It goes back to Brazil. And hopefully he likes it up, man, because that will be better for us. Someone might actually buy him next season.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, so we'll move on. Stories then. Moussa Diaby. Reports potentially of a move to Saudi. Al Nassr still, it seems like they're still interested. We battled it out for his signature from Leverkusen last season. We ended up getting Moussa Diaby. They had big links. And Ittihad as well are interested and potentially going to bid for Moussa Diaby. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Last season, first season, I thought he had some great games in times, but the consistency sometimes wasn't there. And it's his first season. He's still got decent numbers for his first season. I think he got 19 goals and assists in his first season, which is decent numbers. Started to play better, and he had some crucial moments. I think the assist against Bournemouth away, that was a big one. He had a good game against Bournemouth at home as well, I remember. I think he did bits against Liverpool. Like, he had some games where he was integral and kind of like he changed the game for us when he was playing, but there was just no consistency. Obviously, he played 50-odd games last season for us. I think that's the most ever by a new signing. It was ridiculous that but a lot of them were on the bench, or coming off the bench, should I say. So, Moussa Diaby, how would you feel with Moussa Diaby leaving? Is it fee dependent, or is he a player that you wouldn't want us to lose?
Yeah, just to touch on Diaby last season, because me and you spoke about him quite a lot in depth. And I think it's two ways to analyse Diaby. You can look at the eye test, which I think a lot of the times it was disappointing. Sometimes his touches were a bit loose. He didn't make the right pass, the correct one. Sometimes his finishing wasn't up to scratch. And then there's the analytical way you can analyse him, where it's just like, output-wise, this guy was a top 3 player at Villa last season. Only Leon Bailey and Watkins had better underlying stats than him. So it was almost a case of, no matter how bad he looks on eye test, he has to start the games. Now, for a first season, to get double-digit output in the Premier League while playing in a system that probably is not best suited to him, he was more of a touchline winger at Bayer Leverkusen, coming in, tucking inside and attacking that way. Whereas at Villa, he starts central and he kind of has to curve his run sometimes. So I don't think it was as bad as the season has made out, as frustrating as it was to watch. I'm in the camp of I wouldn't want to see Diaby go. I just feel like not yet. One season and you're selling. I'm not really comfortable with that. From what I've actually heard, though, I've heard like if Villa get a suitable replacement in their mind that they know they can replace, and the fee that's paid from the Saudi club is to Villa's like taste, and is enough to force them to go. You know what? We actually have to consider this. I think I could see it happening, bro. I really think I could see it happening. Diaby was tempted to go last season by Al Nassr. Now it's out Ittihad this time. Me and you spoke about on this podcast how Diaby is kind of similar to Salah, just a worse version in terms of like how they play, their output machines, the way they like to play as well. Al Ittihad wanted Salah last season and they didn't sign him. For Diaby to be the next guy on their list makes a lot of sense statistically. So I think they're gonna do whatever it takes to sign him. There's the religious aspect as well with him being a devout Muslim in a Muslim country that could be branded for the Saudi clubs as well. They can market that. You just never know. Diaby, is he fully happy at Villa? Like there is rumours when he was benched in some of the big games last season, like he's known to have like a bit of a sulk about him, or nothing crazy. He's never spoken out, but he does have that in his personality to be a bit, a bit of a sulker when he doesn't start the big games. But yeah, I can see it happening, bro. If the Saudi team put up a big enough fee to Aston Villa, and without FFP troubles that could potentially be coming next season, if a Diaby sale was to ease that already, where we wouldn't have to sell another player next season, yeah, I could really see it happening.
Yeah, I do hear that. There's a lot of factors, obviously. I mean, our money situation. We just signed a player for 50 million today. Where are we in regard to that? Does Diaby want to stay? I mean, he did play a lot of games off the bench. That was a factor. That he didn't start a lot of games. No, it's a bedding in period for sure, like it was, and he had an impact off the bench for sure. But that's the big money signing last summer, and at times you'd say our strongest 11 did not include Diaby. If everyone was fit last year, you would have. I think a lot of Villa fans would have said our strongest 11 did not include Moussa Diaby. So yeah, it's a tough one because there is a player there, and he's shown he has the ability for sure. But if the money talks, I'm not so sure Villa keep him. It's mad.
Was there not a bit of a feeling when you saw that Onana bid today of, are we spending money that's already come in? Because that was my first instinct. That was genuinely my first. Have Villa had an influx of income, which has loosened the books, where we're just like, okay, now we can go out, and I just thought the timing was quite hilarious, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
well, who knows? That's speculation. That part's speculation. Like nothing's agreed. From what I've heard, nothing's even agreed with Diaby. Yeah, and the club. Like I've seen rumors on Twitter about that, but I ain't heard that. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, we'll see for sure.
What type of fee do you think it would have to be?
70 million, I think. I think 70 would do it. I don't know. What do you think?
From what they're saying it's a dream signing and they'll do whatever it takes. I don't think he's worth this, but I think he's worth it to us. I think you got to be looking at 85 million.
I don't think we'll get.
And I'll say this.
And I don't think our Ittihad are not one of the big. Go on. Sorry.
They're PIF backed.
Are they?
I'm sure.
Because I remember our Ittihad was.
No, you're thinking of Ittihad.
Ittihad, yeah, that's one, yeah, Ittihad, yeah. So
this team have Benzema and Kante.
Yeah,
this is one of the best.
Who's Lauren Brandt just gone to now as well?
It's Ittihad. I think that's what
they're waiting for.
Ittihad. Yeah, he's only
well, then French manager. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like yeah,
it's a whole French
could very well want him, but
let me explain why I said 85 million. Let's not forget, we paid 52 million for Diaby upfront total package. So we paid 52. Now, Saudi, they're trying to sign a guy that's come off double-digit output in the Premier League. He's still 25. He's a Champions League player now. He's helped Villa get to the Champions League. No matter what people think of his performances, that can't be taken away from him. And his injury record last season was incredible. He played over 50 games, so he's always available. if you want to come to Aston Villa and take this player off us, you have enormous amount of wealth. You want to make him your dream signing. I really hope
1 year
Villa
into his contract. 1 year into his deal.
long contract. I really hope Villa hold out for a good fee. Don't just accept the first deal. Obviously, it depends on the deal structure and that. I know some Saudi clubs pay up front with their structures, which is why a lot of clubs accept like a lesser offer sometimes, because it's not like over a certain period of time. They'll just send you the lump sum of money which clubs prefer. So we'll see, man. But yeah, I don't actually want to sell him, but I could see.
No, me neither. Me never. That second striker position as well was his first season. Like he'd never played there before. He was used to operating as a free, like he was playing off the right. So it was a totally new position. Unai Emery identified him. I think we can get the gist that Nico Williams was the primary number one target to play that position. Wasn't able to get him, so Moussa Diaby was next on the list. Yeah, I think another season, I think he'd get better and better, but potentially Villa could sell. And yeah, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts in the comments regarding that as well. Do you think we will? But yeah, bro, we'll move on. Because yeah, the Moussa Diaby thing, we'll see how that goes over the next week. I think there's a few comments coming in now. Yeah, Prez goes, Diaby, the second striker, can't see him leaving. Rich says it wasn't too bad, but 50 million, we was expecting more. I think that can be said as the case for sure. Dave said, wingers blow hot and cold all the time. It's only Salah that's hot more than not. This will be Diaby's big season. Keep the faith unless he was replaced by Nico Williams Jr. and Nassr. I think that was the case. I think that's how we were looking to operate. I think it was Nico Williams was first choice priority. And I think this summer we kind of seen where Unai was thinking about the player, even though he's been playing off the left, but just the level he is. And Moussa Diaby was next up. But I think Moussa Diaby had a decent season, man. I think it's a big factor, big money signing, coming in to the Premier League first time and just expected to perform and expected to do that. And as Dave said, wingers do blow hot and cold, and he was playing in a totally new position. So I think as Rich goes on to here, I remember Low Sox Bailey was second season, was expecting big things this season, but if he wants out, yeah, facts, I think that's the case. It's all dependent on his decision as well. Ken says, I don't want him to go. Rich says, so do I. If they come with that cash, take it 85 million for facts. I think that's a huge amount of money. Andrew says, Moussa got to stay. He's going to be on smoke next season. Thanks for joining, Andrew. And Ken says, Emi Buendia coming back too as well. That's another factor as well. We have another player in a similar position who is coming back, even though they're totally different profiles. That is another player within that position.
And Buendia's, what I like about Buendia is he is the most unique profile in that attack. There's no player really like Morgan Rodgers is quite good at turning and driving with the ball, but in terms of that passing, that creativity, that natural throwback number 10, Buendia is the guy now that Coutinho's gone.
Facts, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. As we move on, obviously there's always Jhon Duran rumours, always, and the next club is West Ham potentially looking at him. I think they're looking to off 35 million, aren't they? Or just below that. Again, it's just a player. I don't know where it sits with Jhon Duran and Villa fans in general, but for me, I just feel like his age, how much we bought him for, and the potential. I hope Villa don't undervalue him. That's all. I hope Villa don't undervalue him. I don't know if 35 million is value for him.
Well, they're saying 40 now. They're saying 40 now, which is good.
Which I think is fair. I think that's fair. I think 40 is a fair price for sure. That for me is. I just hope we don't undervalue him, even if there is potentially, there's unrest with Duran and the whole agent thing, whatever. Just don't undervalue him. That's the case. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we'll move on. Talking about Jhon Duran.
Sorry, I just want to say about Duran. How annoying is it that it's just not like worked out? Because in terms of his age and being that profile that he is, the talent, he's the perfect backup to Watkins while Watkins starts. But I get as well that he wants to play. He's a talented guy. A lot of Colombians look to him as the future talent. But then you look at the Copa America as well. He hasn't really played.
Zero. I think he's not.
I think he's come on. I think he's come on once. I think he come on for like 13 minutes.
One of the group stages, yeah.
Yeah, one of the group stage games.
They've got that Barros who comes on, and they've got the other guy who came into the side as well. Cordoba, that's it. Yeah, started. Yeah. And they've been scoring. To be fair,
they're in the final. Yeah. So It's not like it's just Villa that are benching him. It's not like he's starting for Colombia as well. So that's maybe something that his agent should probably take into consideration as well. But yeah, I think Duran wants to go. It's fair enough.
Yeah, same. I just hope we don't undervalue him, even if he wants to go and that, just hold his price, because I think we can get good money from him for sure.
I think West Ham's
reinvest it well.
West Ham's a much smarter move for him than Chelsea. If it's about game time, I think he starts. I think he starts. He's better than Antonio. He's better than Danny Ings, who I think they're selling anyway. I think he starts for West Ham. So I'll get it from that perspective, but it's just frustrating. It's a frustrating one because he's the perfect age now for that backup striker role. So, but yeah, we'll have to dip into the market if we sort.
Yeah, facts, and we'll discuss a few options that we think and consider. But going on from that, and the potential rumours of Jhon Duran and Diaby leaving, we'll move on to Jhon Duran and Emi Martinez, as they'll both be playing in the Copa America final tomorrow night at 1:00. We've seen Emi's heroics throughout the competition. Colombia have been playing as well. They even went down to 10 men against Uruguay, but managed to hold on and get the victory after Jefferson Lerma opened the scoring for them. Yeah, bro, interesting, man. We're saying it, the 4 Villa players involved in top football finals, international football finals. Ezri, Konsa, Ollie, Watkins for England against Spain tomorrow. It's going to be mad. Bro, we haven't discussed this online, but Ollie Watkins, man, that goal, that's one of the maddest things. That's one of the maddest celebrations I've done for Villa. I was out watching it with mates and that, and it just a big screen and that, and it was just insane that he did it. Firstly, I'd have a few, so I kind of thought it was I thought we were going into extra time. We didn't quite clock it; it was still in normal time. And then the finish, just the move, the finish, insane, man, and it's fully deserved for him. Just nuts.
Yeah. Honestly, I agree with you. It was one of the most celebrated goals in the world. It was like double dopamine. It just meant more with it being Watkins, him coming on.
Felt proud, didn't it?
Very proud, very proud. I loved this. I loved everything about the goal. I loved the determination to make the runs, the space, the touch, the finish, bottom corner, and the celebration as well. The
celebration was up.
Every Villa fan almost felt like a proud father, even though he's old.
Facts. You seen his mom?
Well, his mom's hilarious. Get my son on that fucking pitch! It's brilliant, bro.
I felt it. I hear it.
And Watkins mania has taken over the country. I don't know how.
That's what happens.
There's been a campaign being done on advertisements about Ollie, and stuff like that. He's been lapping it up in the media. Some of the quotes I've seen him say, England have that round Madrid about them. I was just those are big words. It's a shame because I don't think he's going to start tomorrow, but hopefully he can come on again and make his impact.
You got to think, bro. That is, Kane's win. Was it Kane winner against Denmark? And Ollie Watkins' goals are probably the 2 most important goals in the last 50 years for England. When you think about it, Luke Shaw's as well, but we didn't win that game. But in terms of winning to get to final, Ollie Watkins has one of the most important England goals of the last 50 years.
This is what I was saying to people.
It's not England, the level.
Honestly, if England go on to win tomorrow, Watkins is immortalised.
It's folklore. It's folklore anyway.
It's folklore anyway, but I think it that Harry Kane goal is kind of forgotten already for Denmark, in my opinion. But I think this one will have more significance. One, because it's the first final England have reached on foreign soil, so that's why it will outlast the Kane goal for me. And then secondly, they sing about players that scored in semi-finals that England lost, that people still go back to and watch them games and still never shut up about. So if Watkins' goal in the last minute to get to a semi-final,
iconic,
and England go on to win the tournament in Germany, immortalised 100 years from now, Watkins is known. And I can't wrap my head around it, to be honest. It's actually crazy. So yeah, I really hope Watkins gets his prod.
Gets the winner. Gets the winner again. Imagine.
It's almost like that goal still had to wake people up, even though he was one of the best players in the Premier League last season. It's almost like people are like, "Oh, I didn't know he was that good."
I think people are forgetting what he did in the Premier League last year. Like I think I've heard a lot of like pundits, especially saying he did very well for Villa last year. He got good numbers. No, he was one of the best in the Prem, if not the best. Numbers wise, he was the best. It was him and Cole Palmer. I think Cole Palmer got 33 GA last year. Ollie Watkins got 32 GA, 0 penalties taken. Like he was the best. And I don't think they're relaying it like that. They're saying it more as, oh, he was unreal for Villa. No, he was one of the best players in the league. And him just doing that, the finish, the turn, the only place he could put it, like it was just insane. And I saw a video. Verbruggen did a video with Jason Steele like 6 months ago, and it was interesting. They were doing it for Sky Sports, and I think it was basically like who's the best finisher in the Premier League, and like they both showed Haaland, they're like Haaland, and then Verbruggen was like, who else are you thinking of? And Jason Steele's like, Watkins, and he's like, yeah, Watkins, and then the guy goes, what is Watkins? He's like, yeah, he's insane, like he's nuts. His touch, his finishing, how sharp he is. So Verbruggen already knew, and like he knows. Obviously, with the 6-1, that he shone that game when we beat him, and yeah, just for him to be in goal again and just the movement, the finish, mad, and
you already know next season. I'll say some of our fans, only some, but if you misses that first 1-on-1, you already know.
Do you know what's mad? Watkins didn't score for how many? Was it 4 games this season? The first 4 games he didn't score.
Oh, bro, I saw all the comments. There were comments saying
it's mad.
Duran starts, sell Watkins while the window's still open. It was crazy. Like people would deny it, but I saw all the comments. Like he was still getting assists, he was still winning penalties. But that goal against Chelsea, I guess. People are saying the goal against Holland was like Chelsea's. I actually think it's more like Fulham away.
Yeah, I think it's Fulham.
He's got his back to goal. He turns, he gets it out his feet, and he puts it in the same corner. And what I loved is how the ball, it rolls up to the top of the net and bounces back down. That's how you know it's right in the corner. It does it for both goals.
The celebrations, bro. Even got a man like Jude and Villa at heart in the picture with Konsa and Watkins.
Yeah, it made me laugh today. I saw
he's coming.
EVB, as I say. It's like,
the jokes.
You blew those.
Charlie's made a good point. It's the same as Olympiacos at home as well. Yeah, we hit it across, facts.
Oh, I've robbed that game on my mind, bro.
I do hear you, bro. I hear you. I mean that finish from Watkins, Dougie penalty miss. He just missed one for Brazil in the Copa. So a few things from that game have happened recently in international football. So but yeah, we'll move because that's just massive news. Villa return back to pre-season, bro. Back in training now. Unai's done that. Unai does that thing that he usually does. I think he has half the squad in one day, the other half in another day, and then they've all joined back together now. And yeah, it's good to see Emi Buendia for sure back on the pitch, back kicking a ball. He's back in full contact, full training now. So that's fantastic to see. Jacob Ramsey and Tyrone Mings still aren't back. I have a feeling Jacob will be back sooner rather than later. Whereas Mings, I think he's still doing his rehabilitation. It might be a few more months before we see Tyrone Mings on the pitch kicking a football. Yeah, I just want to know your thoughts, bro. And it's mad. We're nearly back already.
It's so refreshing seeing the Adidas gear, man.
Mm.
It's just like the whole vibe about Villa is just how we dreamt it in terms of the players that are coming in, Champions League football, and just how we look. Yeah, I think some of the training gear looks really good, man. Some fresh faces as well in the team that we probably like. Caden Young being back is massive. A couple of youth players that are training with the first team. Jamal, Aidan Borland. I think I saw Swinkles. I think I saw Josh Feeney as well training with the first team. So yeah, all those players are back. Finley Monroe is probably training with them as well.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see who gets taken to pre-season and who's already been sanctioned to go out on loan. We saw Tommy O'Reilly's gone to Shrewsbury, which is a decent move for him. I wonder if we'll see a few more before the pre-season tour starts as well.
I think we will do, and then yeah, it'll be who goes to America, and that will kind of be the squad we put forward. And you've got to add to that the players that have got to come back. Obviously, John McGinn's got to come back, Ian Matson, now Amadou Onana, Yuri Tillemans, Watkins, Konsa,
Martinez.
Duran for how long that may be.
Is Duran even coming back to
he might not return. Yeah,
I've seen today like Onana's not even going back to Everton. Like he's just trying to fly straight to Villa.
Yeah. I've seen that from his holiday. Yeah, I did see that.
To be honest, bro, I think if Duran wins the Copa America with Colombia, that might be one of the best parties like, of all time. So I don't think any Colombia players are going back to their clubs anytime soon if they win that trophy.
Facts. Well, yeah. Just good to see the kit does look sick. I just can't wait for when they release the kit now. I think it's kind of been confirmed, hasn't it? The kit. There's been a few things going around. It's Topps cards. They've got every team's kits on them, the players, and it's kind of.
From what I've heard, the colour's different. The colour's got more lines on.
That's it. Okay, but the template's just
similar.
The same. Yeah. So it'd be nice to see that actually in detail, and I think everyone will be buying the Adidas stuff, the merch. I think I like the green jackets, even the grey ones, and the line glows in the dark. It's all mad. It's
quite it'll be pricey though, man. The prices were, I think it's like 80 for the normal, 110 for the.
It's gonna be dope.
For the official, whatever that means, man.
It's gonna be dope.
You get McGinn's sweat on it or something like that.
What, Castori edition?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, I hope they saw that green one actually, not the one that they've been wearing recently. The one that Ilin Jr. signed in.
The signed in one, I like that green one. Yeah, and Dobbin. Yeah, I think they'll sell a number of them. I think they see this as the time now. They'll sell everything Adidas Villa associated. You know what I mean? Because they know they'll make sales on it. Because Villa fans are eager and ready to get Adidas merch. It's been a long time coming since we've had a high quality supplier. So yeah, exciting times, man. Exciting times, and like this week's been a madness with Villa. Next week will probably just be another madness. There's so much going on. There's so many incomings and outgoings.
Okay, just quickly before we go, let's just assume Onana is fully signed, Philogene fully signed. What is the position next, or the remaining position? Do you think, assuming no one else leaves, let's just assume that. What do you think are the next two?
No one else leaves.
Okay, not no one else leaves. Okay, I said that wrong because I've just realised it almost. But what do you think the next priority positions are to have a complete window?
Right back. But is it a right back who can play centre back? I don't know. It's another centre back. It depends what they think of Gauchi, but maybe second choice keeper.
Yeah.
And then I think he'll be the second striker or a 10. And that's it.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 more, unless there's more sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think our attack's pretty stacked. I wouldn't even be touching the attack now at this point. It's just like you got.
I think Duran goes, and I think one of the Bayer, Felix, whatever. I think one of those come in.
How would you feel if Diaby and Duran both left, but we only brought in one guy?
Depends what we do with the money. If we get the defenders in, then I think I'll be okay with it. Depends what we do. If we just sit on it, I don't know.
We've been linked to a young Turkish centre-back called Özkan, which was interesting. I like that we're looking at that.
And this is the fact Ken says. How many more players do we need? How many do we need, do you think? Like,
2.
Is it?
I'd say it's priority, I'd say. But this is just more like my personal, how I'm not Unai. I don't know better than Unai. But this is more just my personal, like, I think right back's been a priority from last season. Mm-hmm. And I thought when Cash was linked to Serie A, I thought that was going to be our chance to sell. Now, people love Cash. I personally think it is time to move on and look for a different profile there.
You got to think what's costing. Yeah, what's costing Nielovic now? That's another one we haven't mentioned. He's in training now. He's in pre-season.
Yeah,
like we've got Costa, we've got Cash, we've got Konsa who can play there. Is it more another centre back or I don't know?
Well, Emery likes the hybrid type players, don't he? So
yeah. Where do you think Konsa will play next season? Do you think he'll be a centre back or be a right back?
Like I didn't like him at right back towards the end, man. Did not like him. Like at first, I could see it as acceptable when we were playing City and Arsenal, but towards the end, just looked uncomfortable with the angles. I think it was the Brighton game where he's come over his shoulder and he's conceded the penalty, which is so rare for Konsa. So yeah, I prefer to see him centre back, but we'll see, man.
Yeah, we'll go for a few. GA, thanks for joining. GA goes defo right back. Rich says right back, backup goalkeeper. Prez says Alex Buena, number 10. I think brain are sick. But I don't know if we've got the room for him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like Rodgers, Ramsey,
mad.
Wendy. It's just like where, like, it's mad.
Yeah.
Especially with Onana signing now, and he can play in that advanced role as well.
Yeah, he's gone. Kyoto fits the profile of the signings we're going. Kyoto does in terms of age and profile, and he's Italy's next right back, the next one to fill in when Di Lorenzo, I think, calls it a day, or might overtake him sooner. As we said, Kenny says how many more players do we need? Rich says Frimpong. Press said anyone going to the Warsaw match? I can't make it, but yeah, I would have been going. But yeah, I think a number of people will be going in the comments. Kenny says Michael KO. I think that's Kayado as well. Rich says we've got to be more competitive in all the competitions we play in. We need a big quality squad. We do rotation. That's what we said. Facts. All the big sides, the 3 sides above us, all do that. So if we're looking to go to that next level again, which is difficult, of course, like maintaining Champions League is going to be hard. So going to the next level is even harder. But if your aspirations are to do that, you have to have quality throughout your squad. And I do think that this summer we've done that. Even though we've lost Douglas Luiz, and potentially we could lose another big name, I think the overall quality of the squad has improved. I don't know if you agree with that, bro.
Hard to say right now. I think. Hard to say. I think in certain positions it has, in certain positions it hasn't. If say the moves that happen, but we'll see. As for now, probably because Maxson increases the left back position like tenfold in terms of his quality. I think I agree with you.
Ken says as well, Kayado for me too. So a lot of people saying Kayado for that right back position. Again, we've Kostanielewicz, Kayado. They're something a similar age of 2019-20. So they'd be 2 youngsters again.
Yeah. You know what I've realised?
We are building for the future. If that was
I'm realising in modern football now, we used to look at like 19, 20, 21 as an age where like, okay, you let them develop and that. Bro, these young guys, their mentality is so much better than previous generations. Like these guys can play earlier and play big games. And I think that's why I'm kind of changing my perspective where I'm like, a 20, 21-year-old can start in the Premier League if he wants. Like Jaden could be ready to start Champions League games for us consistently. Do you know what I mean?
And Lamine Yamal's kind of just...
Oh, he's just like changing it. He's messing up.
Just changed the whole perspective of it.
He's making 19s that sound old nowadays. Like, what's that?
So someone said that with Kobe Minor, who's like 19 and like he's making him look. It's mad. It's just mad. Like, yeah, it's nuts. But he's been class as well. Anyway, I think that's it for us. Bro, thanks for joining me, man. This has been a great catch up. Thanks everyone in the comments. Really appreciate it. The comments have been great tonight, and we'll be back again soon. If you could like the stream, comment your thoughts on what we've discussed in here at the end of the video as well. And also subscribe if you're new around here. Yeah, we'll be back with another update next week. I'll be doing some transfer videos as well. Exciting, man. Hopefully England get the win tomorrow in the Euros. Get bank holiday Monday. And then we'll see Onana and Philogene come through the doors at the start of next week, and potentially
that would be cool, wouldn't it? If England won and they brought the trophy to Bodymoor with 2 players,
that'd be sick,
that's how it happens. Yeah, that would be quite.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick. I think. Do you reckon they'll do more than they did for Emmy?
Actually,
I was going to say, do you think they'll do more than they did for Emmy when he came back? Because they weren't really too much for Emmy when he won the World Cup. Can't lie.
Oh yeah,
straight back to business, bro. It's like straight back.
They come on the pitch, didn't he? Eventually, but yeah, at first, Bodymoor is just like, you ain't nothing special now.
Facts. Anyway, thanks all for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.